welcome back to the News at 9. In today's Health Yes segment, we're talking about the connection between mental and physical health. So joining me now are Dr. Daniel Dulin and Cindy Zedo with Genesee Health Plan. Thanks to both of you for being here. So I want to start off by talking about children. How do mental health issues affect them?
Mental health issues can affect a child throughout their entire given day, from the morning routines to behavior problems that cause more negative interactions with adults through school, learning problems. They might come home tired and want to isolate. They might be difficult to manage around the home, and they may go to bed anxious, worried about things, even hearing and seeing things that aren't there. Hopefully all these things don't happen to one child, and families handle these things differently and sometimes better.
Right. Now, how can trauma maybe and adverse experiences affect children and their health?
We are learning and trying to get the information out that trauma and adverse experiences is directly related to poor health outcomes for adults. The relationship is unusually clear. The more adverse childhood experiences you've had, the more likely you are to have negative health behaviors as a teen and a young adult, and negative health outcomes as an adult.
That's absolutely understandable. So, what can adults do to help?
Well, I think adults can first seek help themselves because oftentimes they may not recognize it, and they need to model those behaviors to their children and work with their children.
Yeah. Does Genesee Health Plan cover mental health benefits to its members?
Genesee Health Plan does have a mental health benefit, and they can access that by contacting Genesee Health Plan at 810-232-7740. It is also, the information is available on the website.
Okay. I want to ask too, you mentioned about kids affecting it, them from their morning until their, nightly routine. Is it common, do you find, for a lot of parents maybe just to sort of write it off and say, oh, they're just going through some physical changes, or, they're going through puberty or their adolescence? Is that typical? I mean, for people not to think of kids as having mental health issues?
I do think that we may tend to miss those things with kids. Kids have so many challenges anyway, and there's so much stress around for young families that it can be hard to pick out. But these things start to rise to the surface. They become something you can't ignore, and that typically will alert the parent that there's something they need to do.
Sure. What type of services are offered by Genesee Health Plan under this mental health benefit?
So there is outpatient therapy, there are psychiatric services, so an evaluation, medication treatment if needed. So the Genesee Health Plan mental health benefit is for adults, but Dan can speak on how to access the care for children.
Okay.
That's right. At Mott Children's Health Center, we provide care for children that meet certain financial guidelines. We have a well-developed mental health system in this area, and so if you call an agency, it would be my expectation that they would help you find the right place if you hadn't reached the right spot.
Sure, sure. Now, I want to talk one more thing before we go. What is the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program? This is a great resource in our community.
Absolutely. So with the Grandparents Raising Grandchildren program, we are funded through Flint Recast to provide support services to the children and the family. So that's a little bit different than the mental health benefit for the adults at Genesee Health Plan. This program is open to anyone in Genesee County. You don't have to have Genesee Health Plan or a certain coverage. It's a free service, and we provide services to the grandparents and the grandchildren in the home, in the school, advocacy services, therapy services, counseling, family counseling. So and it's not just for grandparents, that's important to point out. So this is for anybody who is raising a family member's child is eligible.
Oh, that is absolutely a great resource. Thanks to both of you for being here today. If you want more information about today's topic, log on to the TV5 Facebook page immediately following the News at 9 here, because we'll be there live answering all of your questions of the topics we just talked about.